We know you've heard of Emerging Leaders. Well, they have made a donation, and we're going to find out how that money will be used in this edition of WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is Josh Gunselman. He is on the steering committee for the Emerging Leaders. Also joining us is Eddie Luegers. He is with the group that's going to benefit from this year's grant from the Emerging Leaders, and that is The Next Act. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, to start things off, Josh, let's talk about the Emerging Leaders. Briefly, what's your organization, why you exist, and what you do with money?
The Emerging Leaders is a subgroup of the Du Bois County Community Foundation. We are, at our heart, a giving circle in which we attempt to engage individuals in the community and involve them, or at least introduce them into philanthropy. At the end of each year, we end up giving a grant to a nonprofit organization in which all of our membership has voted to give them a grant for the purpose being of making a big splash or really making a big impact and pooling our money together. So instead of me giving $120 to one organization and that being okay for that organization, we pool all of our money together and give them a larger sum to attempt to invoke change.
Okay, and so it has just recently been announced that the Emerging Leaders have given $5,000 to The Next Act.
Yep.
All right, and now Eddie, what is The Next Act?
So the Next Act, about a year ago, me and a group of people that were all interested in the Astra have decided that we're going to basically go around, fundraise to raise a $300,000 endowment, which we got done in actually the beginning of April. So that will pay out yearly to kind of help sustain the building, and then we are basically getting to the point that we are going to purchase the Astra. We've raised enough money to do that, and this money right here would actually be going towards the renovation phase, because we have a lot of items that the place really needs. There's a bunch of different things from the gas isn't currently hooked up. There's some issues with air conditioners and some other things. So I mean, it's something that we haven't really plotted exactly what it is, but it's a big thing.
Okay. And the Next Act, is your goal to just bring the Astra back, or is it really to provide an entertainment venue that culturally helps the community?
It's really, we're trying to make it really just a spot that it can do a little bit of everything. You know, live music, comedians, speakers, movies even too. There's hope that we can do some things like maybe even reopen the balcony for the people who remember how that used to be even there too. But we're really hoping that the downtown can become a destination for entertainment and really kind of revitalize that and tie that into a lot of the plans that are happening downtown.
Now, to receive the grant, and this also maybe, Josh, if you could answer this, they don't just get together and say, okay, if we're going to give all the money to the Next Act. You guys have to make presentations right, in front of the group. We'll ask you about your presentation, how that went, but Josh, how many folks are presenting at your meeting before you make the announcement?
At this last grant, we had about half of our membership, so about 25 people attend. We had 22 nonprofits that either nominated themselves or were nominated by another emerging leader. From that, all 22 were represented by an emerging leader. They presented a 2-minute presentation onto why this group or nonprofit would benefit from the grant. And then from there, we all vote on the top 5, and then the top 5 again come out and give another presentation. So.
Okay, so obviously it went well for you.
Yeah, I guess it went really well. This year they actually had a top 6 because you had a few ties in there too. So I mean, it's something that it's kind of definitely wild because you have to get up there and you know I've been talking about this for over a year now, so I was pretty comfortable with that. But it's really amazing because you learn about a lot of other nonprofits out there and exactly what they do, and you can really see how passionate people are about it too. So it's one of those things that you're always excited to win the money, but you're always kind of like, I need to find some way in the future to maybe be involved or help with these other ones too. So it's one of those things that, you know, hopefully one person benefits, but the other ones do benefit still even without the grant.
Okay. And that's if I may, that's
Sure.
a perfect point that Eddie made. A lot of the process that we go through in doing this is really introducing our membership to these philanthropies. So even though, you know, there's 21 nonprofits that didn't receive the grant this year, they were all mentioned and spoke about to our membership. And then throughout the year, we actually use these other nonprofits as a basis for our newsletter, and we talk more about them throughout the year. So really, we use these nonprofits, or the nonprofits benefit even though they don't get a grant because they're getting greater exposure to people who are specifically looking to do philanthropic things and to or engage the community.
Well, you two both represent two organizations that I think show the positive forward movement of Du Bois County. Is that how you see yourselves, or are you just doing it because this is your passion? What drives you guys?
I don't know. You know, it's something that, like, I lived in Holland for a while, and it was kind of hard to be involved in a lot of these things. So it was, you know, people would kind of ask you, like, hey, why don't you join Big Brothers Big Sisters or do this and that? And I moved back to town, and the Strassenfest committee, for some reason, pulled my name out of the hat, I guess, and from there, it's just a downward slide. No, but it's something that it's once you get involved and you see all the needs that these organizations have, it's hard not to help or not to say yes to everything. And you know, even at the granting party, there was a lady there that she was talking about some of the needs that they had, like she wanted to rebrand herself, and Nicole at the Community Foundation immediately was jumping in there. It's like, hey, if you need this or that printed, if you need, you know. There's a lot of connections there, and it's one of those things that's really infectious when you kind of get involved.
Yeah, so it's a great networking opportunity too, the emerging leaders.
Oh, it is a great networking opportunity. We actually find that a lot of people who move into the community from outside who've never been here before start showing up at our meetings and our events for a place to try to connect with like-minded people who want to be engaged in the community, who want to learn more about philanthropy. Or, you know, the example I've always give, some people want to do good, but they don't know how to do good or where to do good. And here we give them a platform and show them, here's 22 other organizations in the area that you probably don't even know about or may not know about, who could use your help, or if that's something you find yourself being passionate about, by all means, and we try to put two and two together.
Now, for the next act, obviously you're going to need money, and we'll continue to need money for many years to come. Yep. If somebody would like to help out, do they go to the Community Foundation? What's the best way?
With that, so you can actually visit our website. It's thenextact.org. Has all of our contact information there. Otherwise, through Facebook, all the regular channels right there. But you can give directly to us. The Community Foundation can always kind of guide them our way also. But it's something that right now we're really moving at the power. Actually, we're moving at the speed of kind of support right now. So how quickly and everything, we'll probably have to hit one point that we'll have to wait for renovations to be done. But those have to be paid for somehow.
Yeah, you gotta get the money to do that.
Yeah.
And through groups like the Emerging Leaders, you're able to do it.
Thankfully, yeah.
All right, well, gentlemen, thank you very much. Anything either of you'd like to add?
No, if anyone was interested or is interested in checking out more about the Emerging Leaders, we are on Facebook, Du Bois County Emerging Leaders, and of course, www.elgiving.org.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bill.
So much,
We have had as our guest Josh Gunselman. He is with the Emerging Leaders. He's on the steering committee for the grants. Also joining us was Eddie Luegers. Eddie is with The Next Act, which hopefully the Astra will be opening soon, and you'll be able to go and enjoy all kinds of entertainment there. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We're local people watching local people.